Hello there guys, it's Maximus. Thank you so much for joining me today, I really appreciate it. So we are once again stepping away from the core of the channel, which is gaming, and talking a little bit about main battle tanks. So, the Leclerc, an absolutely amazing main battle tank, and we're going to discuss pretty much an overview of the entire vehicle and my kind of thoughts and opinions on it, and some factual based information to give you a kind of an idea of this tank. Now let me start off by saying that I knew very little about this tank coming into this. I decided I needed to start learning a little bit more about it, especially as in recently it's been put into SteelBeast Pro, which is a fantastic tank simulator, and if you haven't played it before guys, please feel free to check out my channel. There is other videos pretty much detailing the entire game, but as I said, we're not really talking about games today, we're talking about tanks themselves and the Leclerc tank. First of all, before I go ahead and discuss the actual vehicle itself, I would like to mention that the information, the research I'm doing comes from the best sources that I can find possible. That being said, there may be instances where things aren't 100% accurate or true, or you may not agree with my opinions or description on this particular tank, and I do apologise if that is the case. Please feel free to leave it in the comment section below to correct me, or if you have an opinion and disagree with something I'm saying, again, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below. But again, please be respectful. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by, and I also appreciate comments and feedback, but try and keep it respectable. It would be really appreciated. So first of all, the development program for a replacement to the France's MX-30s, which had been in service since the 1950s, began in 1977. The original Leclerc's development had been a joint project with West Germany and was known as EPC, or Engine Principal de Combat, but it was cancelled in 1982, and the French arms manufacturer GIAT took over its development. In 1986, the first EPC prototype was completed and renamed Leclerc in honour of General Philippe Leclerc de Hautecluc. I can't say that correctly, so I apologise for brutalising the French language, I'm not good at French. The general had been the commander of the Free French 2nd Armoured Division during the Second World War, and he had led the prime drive into Paris during its liberation after the Normandy landings. The Leclerc was named by the media as the AMX-56, however the vehicle was not manufactured by Atelier de Construction de l'Isle-Mulino, AMX, and is simply called Leclerc in France. Mass production of the tank started in 1990. It entered service with the French Army in 1992 and with the United Arab Emirates in 1995. The second series started with Batch 6 and ended and added a climate control system, with Batch 7 introduced an introductory transmission system and command vehicle. Batch 8 was modernisation of electronic systems, and Batch 9 replaced the visor with the SAGEM iris system with thermal imaging, which allows acquisition of targets at a greater range. All previous batches will be modernised up to the standards of batch 9, and the final delivery of batch number 10, the XSSI series, was made in 2007 to the French Army, bringing the final total of 406 Leclercs. 320 of them will be made up to make 4 regiments, each of them having roughly 80 Leclerc main battle tanks each. The batch 10 SXXI series for the French Army are equipped with a Thales SIT and Icon battle management system and combat net radio. Currently there are 100 Leclercs equipped with these new systems and enable it to set its pace into the enemy through the exchange of digitalized data, including tactical situational awareness. Be aware the positions of allied hostile forces and designated targets as well as route and mission planning are available in this system. With graphic orders displayed on the background map, it's very handy to have, and between the vehicle and higher level of command, all battalion and vehicle commanders will be able to be brought up to this main upgrade. The commander's sight is the SOIM HL70, which has optic fiber filters and image intensifier for night vision, and has priority control over the gunner's sight for aiming and firing, giving the tank the hunter-killer capability. Sorry guys. The UAE version has been updated and adapted for tropical and desert conditions. It uses the MTU 883 V12 diesel engine, providing 1500 horsepower, coupled with the Renk HSWL295TM automatic transmission. This has meant the hull has had to be extended at the rear to fit the larger MTU engine, diesel auxiliary power unit and fuel tanks. The UAE have ordered 390 Leclercs and 46 armoured recovery vehicles. Deliveries of the Leclerc were completed in May 2004, and deliveries of the ARV should be completed in 2008. The UAE's Leclercs were the first to be equipped with a battle management system called Finders. AMX-56 Leclerc Mobilities is all about speed. It's the lightest modern NATO tank, weighing in at about 56 tons, some 10 tons less than the M1A2 and M1A1, and it has a much smaller hull and turret, giving an added bonus of excellent strategic mobility. It carries an SACM V8X 1500 4-stroke liquid-cooled V8 diesel engine, which generates roughly 1500 horsepower thanks to its hyperbar process. By using exhaust flow from a gas turbine, it gives extra boost to the engine's turbocharger. Added with its computerized EMS 500 automatic gearbox and its lightweight capability, the Leclerc is able to do 0 to 30 km an hour in less than 6 seconds. It's capable of carrying 1300 litres of diesel fuel, giving it a very impressive 550 km fighting range. The Leclerc has a top road speed of roughly 72 km an hour and can go up to 55 km an hour off-road thanks to its hydrogas suspension systems, which are quite common on most Western vehicles. But it's not only the tank's speed that is fast, it also has a quite high firing rate. The Leclerc has an autoloader situated in the turret's bustle, which allows for a smaller cruise space in the turret and lower profile, making it that little bit harder to hit. Now for those of you who haven't checked out my video in the past, I have done a video in regards to my opinions on the manual loader and autoloader. Please feel free to check it out. The autoloader is fed through a 2-layer magazine which contains 22 rounds, and a further 18 rounds are kept in storage, and by reading a barcode on the round, it is able to load the type of round the gunner selects. The gunner's sight is the SAGEM HL60, which has a laser rangefinder, thermal imaging and stabilized aiming unit, inclusive with a ballistics computer. This allows it to fire on the move while giving it roughly a 95% hit rate, which is very, very effective. The digital fire control system allows the gunner and commander to select a total of 6 targets in 30 seconds. With all these features, it can boast roughly a rate of fire of 12 rounds per minute from its main gun. The gunner's station is equipped with the gunner's main sight, 3 periscopes and a vision display unit. The gunner's stabilized sight is the SAVAN-20 from Safran, which contains 3-field view-of-find thermal imager. The driver has 3 periscopes, and the sensor periscope is a OB60 driver's sight developed by Thales Optomic, formerly Thomson CFF, which has day and night capabilities. The main gun is the French-produced CN-120-26 120mm smoothbore cannon, which fires armoured-piercing, fin-stabilised discarding sabot, roughly 1,790 meters a second muzzle velocity, and heat rounds. The Leclerc enjoyed the title of having the longest cannon in NATO at 52 cal length until the Challenger 2 with its L30 55 cal length cannon entered the battlefield. But the Leclerc's cannon is no longer the smoothbore cannons on the American Abrams series. Leopard 2, A4 and A5, Merkava, Ariete and various upgraded M60 series. This means it produces a higher muzzle velocity, so it has more range and greater punch than the enemy armour over these tanks. The Leclerc is also the only NATO tank to carry a 12.7mm coaxial machine gun. On top of the turret there's also a 7.62mm anti-aircraft machine gun in an armoured casing. This potentially can be controlled from the commander's position remotely. The Leclerc's armour is a modular box system mounted on steel construction beams around the vehicle. The original armour system was spaced perforated steel plates inserted into these modules. On batch 10, the Leclerc retained its modules but instead inserted titanium tungsten tiles, basically a composite armour to shatter thin. It's also believed that NERE, or non-explosive reactive armour, is then placed either behind or in front of those tiles in the modules to defeat heat rounds. The Leclerc is equipped with a Nexter and Lecroy 2 Affûté, developed by Galix Combat Vehicle Protection System. 9 80mm launch tubes housing smoke, anti-personnel or infrared decoy grenades are fitted on either side of the turret roof. Nexter has also developed the KBCM Defensive Aid Suite. Evaluated by the French Army, the system warns of laser, used by guidance systems on anti-tank missiles, being pointed at the vehicle. As well as incoming missiles, it's also able to jam infrared. It can be integrated into the Finders and Icon battle management system, which was previously mentioned in regards to the commander's ability to check the battlefield. The Leclerc ARV, or the repair variant, is the new generation recovery vehicle, or NGRV. Its hull has been lengthened with 7 pairs of wheels and is equipped with a hydraulic blade to the front and can clear battlefield obstacles. The vehicle is equipped with a hydraulic crane and is rated to lift 30,000 kg loads, and with a winch of 180mm cable, it's rated at 35,000 kg. A secondary winch is rated at 1,500 kg, and the crane winch systems are supplied by Rheinmetall Land Systems. So basically guys, in terms of the Leclerc's combat history, it's not really seen very serious combat with France, but there were 15 deployed to Kosovo and the UN for peacekeeping duty as well as South Lebanon. Now, United Arab Emirates has had some conflicts in the past, I believe, with this particular tank, but I don't know the actual in-depth accounts of these instances, so I'm not really going to touch base on them. So basically guys, that's the overview of the Leclerc main battle tank, and it is a very impressive vehicle. Now, in doing my research, I learned a lot about this vehicle that I just didn't know before. It's 12.7mm gun, it's coaxial gun, which, to be honest, it's always been a fascination to me as to why Western vehicles never really chose to do this and kept with a 7.6mm standard. Now, I think that's probably for ammo compatibility and to make sure that we're all using the same ammunition, but it is something that kind of shocks me, considering that a coax is something you're going to want to be able to use that can, knock out most soft-skin vehicles and give you really good infantry support cover. But that's just, a tiny little tidbit that I learned about this tank that kind of shocked me. The autoloader is, I have my own personal opinion on it. I can't really talk too much about it because I don't know first-hand accounts of how well this system works. But it seems as though it seems to be doing quite well for itself. The French clearly aren't complaining, and nor the UAE. And the UAE have a lot of money to throw around, so they're only really going to try and buy the best kind of equipment. And it seems like they've, decided to buy more and stick to their guns with that tank, so it seems to be doing something correctly. I must say, it really is an intimidating looking tank, and in my personal opinion, it really does look like one of the most aggressive looking tanks out there with its frontal, intimidated, grisly look. I mean, we can all look at the Challenger 2 and the M1 Abrams and the Leopard, and they all have the sloped front, very modernised looking armour to the front, and it's got that kind of, it's intimidating, but when you look at the Leclerc, it really does have that bulky front, I'm the bully of the playground tank, in my personal opinion. And I just think it looks absolutely fantastic, and you actually listen to the tank engine sound of this beast. I mean, 1500 horsepower, very similar obviously to other vehicles that the armies out there have, but it just, it seems to be punching pretty fast, and considering how light it is, it's obviously going to push its limits in terms of its speed. So guys, that was the overview of the Leclerc main battle tank, AMX-56. I've got to admit guys, I am very impressed with this main battle tank. It's really sort of given me a fascinated side to the French armoured fighting vehicle world. I need to still do some more research on it and try and find out more in terms of first-hand accounts, how well this tank actually performs. But overall, I think it's a fantastic vehicle, and I'm really excited to hopefully in the future play Steel Beast Pro with this tank first-hand. Unfortunately, within the game, you can't actually play it from a gunner's perspective, commander's or driver's spot. But it is fun to play just as an AI controlled unit, or a unit you can control but not actually go inside, so it is still combat effective, you just can't really play as an actual tanker. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please feel free to leave some comments of what you think about this absolutely amazing armoured fighting vehicle. We all love our tanks, and I, have kind of neglected doing a video on this vehicle for a while because I just didn't know enough about it. And I'd like you to leave me some comments and some feedback and really, discuss what you feel is good and bad about this tank, and whether or not you think it's something that will continue going on for the ages, or if it's a tank that's just had its day and maybe the French should, upgrade to something else, or, other packages that could potentially be upgraded to it. It seems like this tank has had pretty much the long length of upgrades it's going to get, and from what I heard and researched, it's going to be upgraded all the way up until 2040. So there's a lot of buzz left in this tank. Anyway guys, thanks again. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, well, I'm sorry, but then obviously you can feel free to leave a dislike too. Please leave some comments. I'd love to discuss some information about this tank if you wish to, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks again for watching, all the best, and bye bye.